evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to part 2 of Planet Coaster. In this episode we're going to be starting with the first coaster of this park, and this is going to be a launched coaster. There's going to be a few sections where it stops and launches again. But yeah, let's get into it. We're just starting off with a couple of drive tyres that'll go around into the first launch, and this is going to be a stop point. It'll stop for a few seconds and then launch off. And the whole basis of this coaster is to add a bit of a storyline to the coaster. So we're going to have some animatronics, some story based things, go off some visual effects, and hopefully by the end it's going to look really nice. In this episode we get finished with the coaster design itself. As you can see here, we're just testing to see if we can actually make it up to the point where we are. There's a few moments in here where we do have to tweak the launch section. But yeah, I'd just like to say thank you guys so much for the support of the first episode. It performed way farther than I expected initially. But yeah, thank you so much, and please feel free to give your suggestions in the comments. Is this the type of content that you guys enjoy? Would you prefer a more longer format video, shorter video? Let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But yeah, as I said, this is just the design of the coaster, and once we get done designing this coaster, we will move on to the queue itself. Now this coaster itself is going to be partial dark and partial outside, so I want sections to be a dark ride. So especially at the beginning when you come out of the station itself, it's going to be a dark ride, so it's going to be very dark, kind of spooky, a lot of things going on, some animatronics, some storyboard stuff, and then we exit into the world. What I'll do is I will let you know the theming of this coaster is going to be the Aztec Mayan theme. I know Aztec and Mayan are two different things, but it's hard to distinguish from me anyway. I don't really know the difference. So in this instance, it's just kind of be, it's fairy tale. It's make believe, right? You can see here I'm trying to figure out how to actually finish the coaster, and I do go through multiple iterations of where I change it. But yeah, stick around to the end if you would like to see the POV of the coaster in real time. I will include that. And I had a bit of an issue with this section here, because it whipped you around this corner and it gave the riders so much fear. But I eventually tweaked it, sorted it out, and it's performing much better now. But yeah, this coaster is a decent length coaster. There's plenty of things to do. There's a cobra roll, there's a heartline roll, one corkscrew, and I believe 2 helixes, and one full inversion upside down. So it came out of decent ratings. It was almost green across the board. With the exception of excitement, got to I believe 5.6, so decent stats. It wasn't bad. Turned out much better than I expected. But here you can see I'm working on that corkscrew right at the end, and again I had to tweak this a little bit because coming around that custom curved corner gave the riders a lot of fear again. a slight nausea, but I ended up tweaking it and getting the stats to much better after smoothing the track out. Yeah, again, thank you so much for the support of the first episode. This is pretty much a brand new channel, and yeah, it's awesome to see you guys actually watch the videos and enjoy it. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna need a name for this coaster as well, so please feel free to let me know. Something adventure themed, something Aztec or Mayan themed. I believe once we start theming the ride itself with more animatronics, more story into it, might give us a better idea for a name. But as for this episode, all we're going through is designing the coaster, and there will be a point where we start designing the queue as well. And once we do the queue, I will jump out and let you guys watch that, because there's a lot of detail work and it's quite intricate. But yeah, we just added some food stalls, stuff like that. I realized I had to keep playing to test the ride, and I didn't close down the park, so I'm just adding these here temporarily, just so the guests are happy and you know they don't throw their trash everywhere. So yeah, we put down some gift shops, food shops, drink shops, a toilet, a staff room, and we will go back at some point and actually make those into proper buildings, so they're not just, you know, ugly food blocks. But for right now, that's just some basic management, because I didn't realise I still had the park open and guests were coming through. Anywho, yeah, just putting down some vending machines just to fill in those gaps makes it seem a little bit more full. And here we're just literally carving out a place for the queue to go. And I had an idea for the queue from the beginning. I wanted it to kind of go through an external building that goes into a mountain or hilly area. So that's what we're doing. We're just putting down a little slope there just so the path can follow it. And I did make a mistake, because I ended up putting normal paths, like a jabroni, and having to delete it all and put in a queue, but that's fine. Once I realised I sorted it out. But yeah, the idea for the queue itself is, like I said, it goes through an external building, and it kind of goes under a mountainous area, and on top of the mountain is going to be an old ruin for a temple, and you'll see that shortly. But yeah, this is just some basic key work, and I do very much use, you know, like the Disney style queues where they kind of go back on themselves, but then I just go up here and come back down again, and you'll see why, because I already had plans for what I was going to do for the outside building. And yeah, what I'll do now is I'm going to leave, I'm going to go make a cup of coffee, and I'll let you guys watch the queue building. If you want, you don't have to, you could leave also. But this is just going to be the queue building, and yeah, I will see you guys at the end. Alrighty folks, I'm back and that's the queue. Kind of got that outline going, the building itself, and just added in some lighting because I noticed I was doing most of this in night time and it probably didn't capture too well. So yeah, just adding some lighting, give it some more life. But yeah, that's the basis of the entrance of the queue, and there's a section there where it's all open, and right at the end, and that's going to be where I want the sign to go, and I want it to be a custom sign, so I'll need to have a name before I put that sign in place, but hopefully it turns out just as well as I'm thinking in my head. And this isn't completely finished, this is just, you know, the foundation work of it. It's the detailing and adding all the extra little bits and gubbins that will take a while. That will make it look, you know, even more presentable. But at the moment, that's just the foundation work. So, just adding slight accents in here, little faces, that kind of thing. I want it to feel like it belongs, you know, without pushing it too far to say, oh, it's quite clearly inauthentic. And I'm not, I don't know at all what I'm talking about, because I don't know anything about authentic Mayan or Aztec buildings or temples or structures, but I want it to have that fantasy feeling, you know. But yeah, this is the POV, so through the queue and out to the ride. So what I'll do is I'll let you guys watch that, and I will see you guys in the next episode. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing, because this park is not complete yet. See you guys in the next one.